Hello, and welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
And I'm Amanda, and we have a very special guest here today with us, Garrett Palm.
That's right. Very special guest.
Very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of our guests are just
special?
other
Boring.
stupid cast members, but you're cool.
special.
What makes me cool?
You tortured us for years.
Yeah, you tortured us for so
gross
many years
foods.
with nasty foods, and we're sweet about it, which was also torture.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Garrett, how have you been?
Yeah, pretty good, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's been it's a slow time in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I don't know how many people listening to this follow Hollywood, the trades,
Gossip.
Yeah.
the gossip.
Yeah.
But there's nothing.
It's been that way for a minute, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you're feeling like a slow time right now.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying nothing will be back to normal until 2025.
Garrett, you do a lot of stuff, though. Like, I feel
Yes.
like you're on
Yeah, I
improv
do.
teams. You have a podcast of your own. Right?
Yeah. It's about travel.
You travel?
Please. Garrett is a world traveler.
Yeah, we have like a million questions about travel
Yeah,
that
we
we'll
do.
get to later.
Okay.
Okay, so you do have a podcast, though.
Yeah, but it's we released one season of it like 2 years ago, and I've been working on the second season for like a year now.
What's it
Damn.
called?
Agents of Travel.
Okay.
Oh,
My partner Rachel and I, we loosely have characters. We're secret agents for the National Tourism Office, and we bring on guests and we interrogate them about their previous trips that they've taken.
I'm so into this.
That's great.
And then at the end, we each pitch them their dream trip, and they have to choose whose dream
Oh
trip
my
they
God,
go
That's
can
on.
so
I come
good.
on and be interrogated?
No.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
Amanda.
Well,
I don't
well, I
know.
tried. I thought I'd throw it out there. I felt a warm embrace.
I would love to have you on. I would love
really?
to have you on. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great. I love that idea.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Uh,
Very fun. It's exhausting during like coming up with trips for everybody. Each
Dream
guest.
trips?
Dream trips. Yeah.
Do you guys have names? Agent names?
Yes, we do.
Can I hear your name?
Yeah, they're really dumb. Mine is Agent Sticky Toffee Pudding because that's my favorite dessert.
Oh,
Dude,
God.
it's so good.
Wait,
Yeah.
sticky
I had it
toffee
recently.
pudding.
It's so good.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I love
And,
toffee.
Rachel is Agent Pannenkoeken. She's Dutch, and that's Dutch for pancakes, and she likes pancakes.
Pannenkoeken?
Pannenkoeken?
Pannenkoeken.
Pannenkoeken.
Wow.
Hands a cooking.
Pans a cooking.
Pans a cooking, aka
Yeah.
pancakes.
Exactly. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Wait, that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's very cute.
Don't bring him on the podcast.
Okay. Have a great time.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how much you've traveled. Tommy came on. His big trip that he talked about was going to Long Beach.
Pretty
So,
big.
Yeah, it can be
Pretty huge.
any-
That's
You've been to
couple hours. I've been all.
Colorado.
I have traveled.
I'm just kidding.
I have traveled.
He's traveled.
I've been
Yeah.
to Japan. I've been to London, Scotland. I've been to Croatia,
Nice.
Ooh, that's on my list.
Mexico when I was a kid. I've been to Toronto.
Very
Oh,
nice.
I've yet to go to.
Oh.
I really want to go to Toronto.
Wow.
Toronto.
Wow, Garrett. Sounds like I've been all over.
I know.
No, that's the extent of it.
Wow.
Oh, Australia.
Oh,
yeah.
Australia.
Hey, you've been a lot
Yeah.
of places.
Yeah, I've been to
Yeah,
some
that's
places. There's
pretty
a lot
good.
of there's a
Okay.
lot of places I want to go.
What about you? What's your list?
Yeah, Amanda.
A lot of tropical places.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a scuba diver, Belize, Turks and Caicos.
Okay.
Italy, Ischia, the Amalfi Coast, the Azores, where my family is from.
Yes.
Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal,
Oh, I love
Victoria, British Columbia, Alaska, Florida. Florida, San Sebastian,
Ooh.
Wow.
Barranco, France.
Okay, so you guys have traveled a lot more than me.
No, listen, I was really lucky. My mom traveled a lot. Like, that was her goal. Like,
Yeah.
Cayman Islands, like, she wanted us to go everywhere. I was really lucky.
That's really cool.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
So I guess I'm cooler than.
Well, we'll get into travel
Okay,
later.
okay,
But
okay.
what we're here to
Yes.
talk about first is Eat It or Yeet It.
Oh, right.
A fan favorite, one of Smosh's greatest legacies, darkest legacies, but greatest.
Darkest, the biggest show on Smosh that I was scared to enter the stage. I put the bib on and I was like, this is the end of my life. I'm going to die.
It just came to an end.
Yes.
And we don't know, I don't think a show ever ends forever on Smosh. I think it's like we might bring it back for a special episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
either.
a decision that would be made by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we kind of brought it to a little bit of an end there with the Last Supper episode, which was absolutely insane.
It was very fun.
It was chaotic. I was watching it back, and the part where all of us were like throwing up basically at the same time, I was like, this is like Triangle of Sadness equals the Bible. Like, what's happening here?
It was a lot. But I want to take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Because it started.
Genesis.
It started. Yeah. Let's go back to Genesis here, with Phil Collins. Let's go back to 2019.
Yes.
Which is when it started.
Yes.
Woo!
Was it 2019 or 2018?
It's 2019.
Okay.
Because it was like one of the first. Because after the Defy shutdown, we all got back. We got back together. Yes. We got back to the mythical offices. Like once everyone was hired back, we were then like, we want to start new shows.
Yeah.
We wanted to like start fresh with some things. We knew we were going to do Try Not to Laugh, but otherwise it was like, what's the other thing? And so I pitched this show, and in my head I called it Face Jam.
Yeah.
And I pitched it as Face Jam because the idea originally was there was no bell. It was like the food would show up and everyone would just reach for the food to try to grab it and stuff it in their mouth.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you do on Eat It or Yeet It a lot, Shayne.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sticking true to my original idea here. But it went through a lot of different cycles and ideas, and then it kind of became this collaborative idea, which was Eat It or Yeet It. I forget who coined the name.
Yeah, I know. There were a bunch of it felt like Eat It or Yeet It might not actually be. It was like a joke name for.
I think at first we were like,
what were the other names?
Yeah.
It's just Face Jam.
I don't know if we had other pitches, but Eat It or Yeet It was like a joke because at that time yeet was still like a big phrase, and so
was it big still, or was
maybe
it
was already past its prime by a couple of years, and we were like, screw it.
Yeah.
But it's a little ironic and stupid, and so we went with that because we were all like, whatever, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we like just being like, eat it or yeet it.
It's fun to say.
Yeah.
But
not fun to do.
I'm trying to remember because my memory
I had
is
a blast.
my memory is blurry. Were you were the chef right away?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was the episode 1. I wasn't on camera for it, but I was the chef for it, and it was because it was basically kind of like this idea that like well, not this, but it was basically like nobody knew how to actually execute it.
Right.
Nobody was like, who will actually make this food?
Yeah.
And
because we had zero. As a team, no chef knowledge, which is funny because we're right next to the mythical kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they were busy doing their stuff.
Well, I mean, they would give me lots of advice. I learned a
Okay.
lot, and I was just like, I am interested. I like to cook at home. I cook a lot, and no training or anything, but I pay attention to recipes and watch videos, and
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I can do that, and it was kind of like whoever can do what. It was all hands on deck kind of stuff, and so I made with. I think at that time it was Finnerty and Monica were like in charge of that part of that show.
We were still like kind of working
all a
out the
mix.
teams.
Yeah.
So I think at that for a moment there, Sketch and Pitt
Got it.
Yeah.
were kind of like blended in like the creation process.
Yeah, I think I came in a year after. I remember it was like one of my third videos doing Eat It or Yeet It.
Yeah, one of your on the unscripted side, or because you were doing sketch.
You did sketch for a while.
I
Yeah.
did sketch for a long
And
time.
then you started doing.
And then I started doing that.
So
Because-
it was probably a little bit.
Yeah. So was it always, did you always know that some foods were going to be like
Yes.
naughty and some were going to be
Yeah.
nice?
Yeah.
Because that was the original pitch.
That was the
Yeah.
original
the
pitch.
idea was
Yeah.
kind of like you're making a gamble. You're trying to get away without eating something too
Naughty.
bad.
Which honestly is brilliant.
Yeah.
It is really fun because that's what causes like the stress of like,
Yeah.
"Ah."
Exactly. Yeah.
And also judging food, like looking at it and being like, and then remember we were talking about the mind games of the food.
Yep.
As someone who would be on it, I'd be like, I don't know. I think it might be bad. And even if it's good, you're eating it and you're like, I feel like something bad's coming, but it's not.
Yeah. Because no good food by the end of it, no good food was actually good because of like the mindset
the mental
that you were in.
I remember
it.
I was so happy when it finally culminated in the episode where I got to cook the foods.
Yeah.
And I made them all good. Yeah. I wanted an episode that had all desserts. It was all good stuff. But everyone was freaking out the whole time. And I was like, good. This show has succeeded at getting into our heads. Yep. We don't trust anything anymore. And that was the point. How early on when you did those first couple episodes, were you like, am I in over my head? Or were you having fun?
I was having fun.
You were just having a good time?
Yeah, just having a good time. And I think that's, like that first episode, I was having so much fun just watching people eat my food then. And like knowing what was going to happen for each dish. It was just a blast from the start.
Because I think your reactions were so funny that we were like, we need a Garrett cam.
Yeah.
We need to get your reaction.
Yeah, when did we get the Garrett cam?
It was
episode 2, I think.
Was it episode 2?
I think you called it out, if I remember correctly. Just like, like you were just like the whole cast would see me, because I think I was also like a dean.
Yeah.
And so they'd see me kind of like,
yeah.
Just looking over.
Yeah, look over.
I would judge based on your reactions sometimes.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, Garrett looks...
The bigger the smile, the worse the food was.
Yeah.
Which is
you
such
have
a mind trip.
You have a very specific face for when it's going to be bad. And you're just like... You're like
a little kid.
Your eyebrows raise up. You're smiling. It's the look of the devil.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
It really is.
But
it's so fun.
Good stuff.
So wait, how did you always come up with new ways to screw with us? Like new recipes?
Yeah, for a while I would just kind of wander a grocery store.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That was my process for a long time.
Just looking for stuff that
feels
is
wild.
unique or that you think...
Just like, I already loved grocery stores. Like, I love grocery stores. I love to wander. Like, my partner Rachel hates going shopping with me because I'll take to
wander.
Forever. Yeah. So I would just kind of like wander grocery stores and kind of like, see things, see the stuff that's on the shelves.
That's really cool.
And kind of like, oh, what about that thing I saw earlier? What if I mixed it with like this like dark bitter chocolate?
My brain does not think like that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
you're a chemist of food.
Have you had to get your head out of that space since?
'Cause
now you get to go to the grocery store and only think about cooking good stuff.
I know. I guess I haven't gone to the grocery store much lately.
Okay.
Since it ended. And I think right now, I've been shopping like with a objective and then just grab stuff.
Do you miss it?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that. I don't know. Okay, this is a stupid comparison, but did you watch The Bear?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, Chef.
The first several episodes of season 2, where like Sydney's kind of like wandering Chicago, eating and like staring at stuff. Like that was my process, but like for bad food.
That was actually, I loved the way that they shot that. It felt like what's that chef show where they go around and
Chef's Table?
Chef's Table, right, exactly.
Yeah.
I felt like that, like all the shots of the dishes.
Yeah.
I loved that whole experience of her walking around.
Yeah.
I wished we'd have done a Chef's Table, but with you, where it's like you talking about. They show a banana. They show a banana, and they're like, yeah. So when I emptied the banana and filled it with tomato sauce, I was thinking, how do I take this tropical fruit but add an Italian zest to it?
I was in the hills of
and then like
France.
a glamour shot of this banana.
Yes.
Yeah, as it rots from the inside.
Right.
That would have been great.
mean, look, you were cooking it up.
Yeah, I was cooking.
People, I wish they could have seen, just from our perspective, like working in this office and looking into the kitchen and just seeing you
madness,
every burner going, like the whole table covered in ingredients, all sorts of shit. And there were days where you'd walk in there and the smell would be, I don't want to say bad. I just want to say a smell you've never smelled before. I'm like, what is that?
I do have to, I'm not the cleanest cook.
I'm not either. That's hard.
I'm very clean.
I'm a chaos.
Okay.
I'm very clean.
Okay.
I do my dishes as things are cooking, and
I don't know how you do that.
I'm
I don't know
crushing
how you
it.
do it.
I try to do that. I don't know how you do it.
I leave every kitchen a catastrophe.
How do you work?
Chaotically.
Oh, I get stressed.
Yeah. I'm just like, I need to be chopping onions right now, and then like drop everything.
You're a mad scientist.
I mean,
yeah, maybe.
You are, yeah. Do you have a dish that you think was your best dish?
Yeah, something you're proud of.
Well, it's hard because any dish that I'm proud of, I'm also ashamed of.
What do you mean?
Oh, I get it. He's a mad scientist.
Well,
so the one that's like the one that hits the hardest, like the cat food one, maybe.
Well, the one that I always think about is literal mud pie.
Yeah.
I think I was there for that.
So
Are there worms in there?
Yeah, it had cockroaches in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt bad because that was like Jackie's first episode, right? And she like had to walk away.
Yeah.
Dude, it was bad. I want to save for the end of this show for us to guess each other's least favorite dish.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for the very end. Because
Yeah.
I know mine. I've said it many times.
I know mine.
And
I know Garrett
All right.
probably knows mine too.
But so literal mud pie was an incredible one. I gotta say, there were some that were so fantastic, like the Infinity Gauntlet. You had some insane ones
that was with Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel Evans, yeah.
That was impressive.
The Halloween one too, where I was the nun and that like open glass case with the little shot glass.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
What was in that shot glass?
It was like, I think it was bad.
Yeah.
Like an oyster shooter?
No, it was like maybe like malic acid liquid.
That wasn't the malic acid Bitrex mix.
No, but I consistently got your poison. I consistently got Bitrix. I remember my first episode that I ever did, I got Bitrix, and I think it was spaghetti and meatballs.
You know what's crazy?
It was awful.
One of the most fascinating things about Eat It or Yeet It is how coincidentally some people ended up getting the same thing all the time. Because you mentioned you got Bitrex a lot.
All the time.
I don't think I ever got Bitrex.
Really?
I don't think I ever got it. I mean, let me know in the comments if I did.
It's the worst.
I maybe did.
It is.
But I got malic acid so often.
Yeah.
And it truly was coincidental that I kept landing on the rounds where it showed up. To the point that there were times where there would be a dish and I would look up and I would see you being like, don't take that one. Don't take that. Because you knew I'm like not going to be affected by it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we want someone to get messed up by this.
I wish you told me not to take certain things. I was like, yum.
Next time, if we do a one-off, I'll tell you.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any that you regret? Do you have any dishes that you made where you're like, oh God, I went too
shouldn't
hard, or I...
Yeah.
I love it. They're right there. He doesn't even need to think about it.
Well, I mean that's why. I mean the literal mud pie again. I felt bad for Jackie.
Right.
So yeah, I regretted that. I think there was one that did kind of mess up Damien's stomach a little bit with the Bitrex.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that was the mix of Bitrex and malic acid.
Interesting.
And then some of those early days before we capped the hot chili peppers.
Oh, God,
put a cap to the hot chili peppers that I could use.
I never experienced that.
Yeah, you missed the early days.
We used to do so much spicy stuff.
Yeah.
That used to be the theme. Do you know how many habanero peppers I've eaten on Smosh Games and Smosh Pit over the years?
How do you do that? Because I feel like I get really like worried. Like I've eaten spice stuff and I feel like I'm gonna die, and I'm like, there's no one who's gonna be able to help me.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
My first week, I had to eat a habanero pepper and do karaoke. First week.
Why did you have to do karaoke?
It was a Summer Games video.
Oh.
I had to, it was my first time ever eating a whole habanero pepper. Like whole, just you bite into it. And I didn't realize that it's not the spiciness in your mouth that's the problem. It's when it gets down to your stomach. And it hurts so
really?
bad.
Yeah.
It hurts so much. If you haven't eaten a lot, which I don't think I had, empty stomach, habanero pepper goes in, you cannot stand up straight.
What can you do to calm it?
Well,
Milk?
Milk, bread.
Yogurt. bread.
Yogurt
I
bread.
found yogurt works the best.
Yes.
Because it coats your mouth. It's thicker. I remember Noah, he was in the same situation as me that first week. And he decided to try to chug milk, and that resulted in him throwing up so bad.
Wait, really?
Yes, genuinely, it was rough.
See, I would.
No, luckily,
the throw up.
Luckily, since these past couple of years, nobody has actually thrown up. Well, except I guess Jackie.
Yeah.
But no, on camera, it
Yeah.
has not really been as much of a thing, and we've gotten better about it.
The throw up is something I'd rather eat something nasty than be next to someone who's throwing up.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Like it's terrible.
And luckily on Eat It or Yeet It, for the most part, people just spit out their food.
They just
Yeah.
spit it out.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
So you don't regret Angela's cat food?
Yeah. Do you regret that? Do you regret that? Do you want to issue any apologies?
I honestly
Angela
think.
here?
I honestly think no, she's not here. I honestly think that it created like a whole other level of a whole other level to the show. Actually,
It tastes like a protein that an animal would have, not a human.
All right, this is fried cat food.
I don't think you should regret it because it like
That was the job, man.
I know.
That was what you were
doing my
tasked
job,
with.
Yeah.
I also think that cat food moment, is what kind of established Angela.
I agree.
Yes.
You know, I feel like everyone has their moment where it's like the fans are kind of like, whoa,
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
think before then, Angela was obviously people liked her. She's super
Yeah.
funny. But I feel like there is a before the cat food and after the cat food Angela.
She was
You're
like,
welcome.
all right, here we go. Yeah, you definitely.
Welcome, Angela.
Yeah, you started her career.
Garrett made you a star, Angela.
You better thank him, ma'am. Thank him.
The cat food moment is probably, that could be a top 3 moment for me.
Yeah.
It's cat food for me. It's the first malic acid moment.
Yeah,
When mythical chef Josh, when Josh then takes a bite after I took a bite.
That wasn't the first malic acid moment.
Was it not the first malic
No.
acid? No. Oh,
Yeah,
the first
it's
one is
one of my favorites.
The first, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell it from your perspective? Because I would have been terrified if I were you.
It was the first full chaos moment on Eat It or Yeet It that I can remember, and it's Olivia. There's a bowl full of cashews. They look like they're salted cashews. They're not salted.
Oh my God.
It's malic acid.
You're a nice.
And she takes it, dumps the whole thing in her mouth,
went hard.
and then just jumps up, sprays them everywhere, screams. Everybody's like, "What is going on? What has happened?" And I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh! Oh my God!
I got my eye!
Have I gone too far?
I didn't know, because I didn't know it was malic acid. I didn't know what it was. And at the time, they looked like salted cashews.
Yeah.
But Olivia starts acting like she's dying. And I mean, truly, everyone got scared.
I'm scared now.
And after a moment, then her reaction turned into more something like, where it was like, okay, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're just having an extreme, you're also leaning into it. You know, Olivia does a great job of that. She does that. Then Keith also did a bunch, and he had the same exact reaction. We don't realize it's sour. We just know they're having an extreme reaction to this and freaking out.
Is that where Keith takes off his shirt? I think
He might have. It was nuts.
running around.
It was
He's all
literal
fine,
nuts.
and then he's like, I'm gonna take off my
And I
shirt."
remember it getting offered to me, and thankfully I go, no, I'm not touching that shit.
Obviously
that was
not.
the first time malic acid happened. You explained it, and it was like, holy shit. So then we have a couple episodes later, I get served a burger, and I take a huge bite of it.
Ew.
And I'm eating it, and I'm like, something tastes off about it, but I'm like, it's a burger, it's fine. And you look flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I swear to God. Oh, is it good?
Don't keep going from the edges, really get in there.
It was good at first, and someone's helping me.
Garrett's looking at me, and he's like, take another bite. And they're like talking to each other. The producers are like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And I'm sitting there eating it. I'm like, okay, I know something's supposed to be wrong. If something's gross, I don't know if this ruins it for people. If something's gross And I take a bite of it, and I'm like, it's not that gross to me. I'll still play it up because I'm like, it's still gross, and I'll like lean in. I'm not trying. I'm not trying to hold it in. I'm gonna make a show of it. I genuinely am like, I think this maybe is good. I'm enjoying this. And then I set it down. I'm talking about it. Mythical Chef Josh is there, and I've seen this dude eat so much bullshit.
Yeah.
I went on one of his shows once, and he made me eat an entire tarantula.
Yeah.
No.
100%.
No, I will not do bugs.
100
No.
whole tarantula.
No.
And I had to eat it, and he did it. He did it. No reaction from Trevor or from Josh. Josh is fine.
Yeah.
He's a tank, but he takes a bite of this burger, and I'm sitting there. I'm eating it. I'm like, this is fine. He takes a bite, and he immediately spits it out and freaks out too.
Should we just keep rolling until you vomit?
Oh, did you take a bite? You took a bite of the.
No. That is just straight up like a warhead's like biting into a warhead, dude. What is your mouth
It
experience?
just feels. I don't know.
can't even. Oh my god.
Took like 8 bites to get there.
Oh
It took
my
you
God.
one. What's wrong with you?
Same type
What
of
is wrong with you?
same type of reaction as Olivia, where he's like, this is the worst thing ever.
So what is wrong with you?
So that's where we coined the term grave mouth.
Yeah.
Because I do not have the same thing as everyone with sour. Which was also a cool thing about the show is how different everyone's palates are.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I think so.
Are you sick?
I think the honest explanation is I loved sour candy as a kid. And I was popping Warheads like they were Skittles.
I did love sour candy too. I loved Warheads, the blue ones.
Oh.
The blue ones were the worst.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love
But still, malic acid? Absolutely not, man.
well, it's super intense, but I don't know. It doesn't.
Another grave mouth. Chance, right?
Yeah, what was Chance's?
I think
again?
I think malic acid.
Oh,
too.
malic acid.
Yeah.
Some people just can handle sour stuff.
Yeah.
But everyone's different because Damien could handle salty things really well. And I always remember that Damien would get certain dishes that were intended to be bad, and he would be like, "This is good."
So wait, if you knew the people who kind of had grave mouth, how did you get around that and give them something that would F them over?
I mean, well, it was just because it was just grave mouth for malic acid.
Yeah.
So you
I mean,
could still...
yeah. So I still found plenty of other ways to get to Shayne.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, what was the biggest one?
Oh, I mean, I'm not.
Well, yeah,
I'm not going to tell you.
yeah, yeah.
because I
wait,
know,
wait.
and you know.
Yeah. No.
So I think
It truly
So.
got me.
It's all a blur.
But there's, you think about it, there's really only a couple avenues you can go. There's bitter, there's sour, there's salty.
Yes.
It's like you kind of.
I was trying to find more like
Bugs.
funk, like a bad funk, like
Interesting.
rotten, like like I was trying.
You're
I was
sick.
doing. Well, it got harder and harder to do the research, but like, I think there was one time. I think there was like a one thing I was proud of, but it never got the reaction, and it never like. I don't think I quite hit it. I think I did a plate of poop and pee.
What?
So I eventually got him.
That's-
I just shit on a plate and handed it to him.
Wow, you really ran out of ideas.
There was a meme. There was a
Poop and pee.
meme and who memed it of eat it or eat it,
Yeah,
literal shit.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
Wait, what was-
But it was fake. It was fake.
It's fake. So I was trying to find.
Obviously.
I was doing research on the flavor profiles
of poop
of
and pee.
poop and pee,
You're
and
not
trying to
well.
find the
You had
the
to
thing
figure out what poop and pee tastes
tastes
like.
and then trying to you find things that kind of make that. I think the pee kind of people didn't like it, and it kind of hit that. It was a
No
lot-
way.
Yeah, and I put it in a little like pee
Pea cup?
Yeah,
You're sick.
yeah.
I want to see your search history over the last years.
My
Poop,
search
pee,
history,
make
yeah.
people sick.
I'm
Yeah.
very glad that I have no idea what that stuff tastes like.
Wait,
I'm trying to. I'm sitting here. I'm like, what?
you've never drank pee or poop?
What the Amanda?
Every year I do it.
Get out.
Just the reset.
Get out.
No, but I
Everything
haven't.
tastes better from there.
I haven't, but don't you hear that survival guide that people, if you
yeah, Bear Grylls.
I've seen
drink-
Bear
yeah.
Grylls drink his own pee.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the poo and the pee, what was the closest flavor profiles?
Well, so like pee, I was trying to get I was trying to remember, like kind of like that uric acid.
Okay.
So it was like a little acidic and a little like salty.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah. And then poop,
Fun.
like a earthy, rotten funk.
That's the
Selina's just like, no, thank you. This reminds me though.
Yeah.
One of probably my personal favorite moment on Eat It or Yeet It was early on, and a dish comes up, and it's a plate of shit. It's literally it looks like a dog turd, and I immediately hit the bell because I'm just like, there's no way this is what it looks like. There's no way. But everyone else was like, oh God, Shayne, good luck. I take a spoon, I dig into this shit. And I take a bite, and I sit there, and I go, hell yes, this is chocolate and graham crackers. And it was so delicious. Yeah. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
And I was so happy, because I was like, that to me was what I wanted out of this show. And so, like, it could have ended there, and I'd have been like, this is a success. I was so happy. I was so happy in that moment. That moment, my favorite.
Would you say then that Shayne is like the biggest champ of Eat It or Yeet It? Because I feel like Shayne.
I think he was on the most episodes.
I was on the most episodes. I don't know if I'm the biggest champ though.
Would it define champ?
Like
I think who tolerated the most.
Who tolerated the most?
Because I
feel like you've tolerated a lot.
Yeah, I feel
Damien?
like Damien. Okay, there's different types of champs.
Different, yeah.
Who can handle the most? Damien.
Yeah.
It became known like there's just not much that grosses him out food-wise. And I've known that about Damien a long time. He's a very adventurous eater. Like he'll be interested in something different. If something is gross to him, it's not gross. It's I've never tasted this before. I really respect him for it. But it made that show tough because you want to get that reaction. Damien's not going to, you're not going to get it because he just isn't affected. But some people who I think Olivia,
man.
She always ended up with the big bite, man.
And she was always like, it's good. She
was
surprised
like
me.
Yeah.
Olivia also is one of those people that she and I have kind of opposite palates in a lot of ways because what grosses her out doesn't gross me out. And I remember this is before Eat It or Yeet It, but I remember finding out like the first time I had natto, and I couldn't do it. The texture and everything. I was like, it's like beans. It's like fermented soybeans. And for a lot of people, they love it.
Yeah, I really like it.
But for me, I was like, my palate just isn't suited for this. And so it just is so, I want to like it. It looks good. I can't handle it. But then like malic acid just destroys Olivia. And so it's fascinating to me that I'm like, people taste things differently.
And the one thing Olivia refused to eat, she paid Keith to eat it.
Yeah.
How much?
Like $5. It was just a donut and a cup of water.
Fun.
Ew.
I know.
That's the thing.
Well, there's also texture people.
Texture.
And
I'm a texture person big time.
Some textures can be rough, but I would say overall.
Like the clear episode. Remember when you did everything was clear? That was very rough for me because it was so slippery and slimy that I was like, this texture is grossing me out. I'm such a texture person.
Do you prefer liquids or solids on Eat It or Yeet It? Because that's a real thing. For me, I passed on every liquid.
You know what? I think I would prefer liquid over solids because like all the meats, like mystery meat and burgers and all that stuff makes me like bleh, gross city. But like drinks, I feel like I got a lot of drinks. Yeah. I feel like I was like, I'll go for that. I don't know what it is because it'll go down quicker. Whereas this,
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite because for me, like, if you have a solid, you put it in your mouth and you're like, this is gross. It's not like everywhere. You can kind of spit it out easily.
No.
There's more of like there's less commitment with a solid, strangely. Whereas a liquid, you drink it, it's in there.
Yeah,
there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
The liquids are. I think the ceiling for how gross a liquid can be far more than a solid.
I agree, but for some reason, I can do a liquid. Maybe it's all the years of taking horrible shots in college.
You have a different
Those
kind of
disgusting shots in college where it was like, you guys want to do what's the peppermint one?
Peppermint schnapps.
No, the Rumpelmints.
What?
Do you guys remember Rumpelmints?
No,
I didn't.
I'm born in a town.
I'm not. We weren't in Boston.
Little men called Rumpelmints. Rumpelmints is nasty city, but we would take it.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
So maybe it was like, I'm just used to it. It's like tequila shots. But, so you're a mad scientist. You were on Eat It or Yeet It. You were the host of Eat It or Yeet It. Do you ever get recognized on the street?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
Wow.
God,
lot.
talk to me. What do they say? Do they say Garrett from Eat It or Yeet It?
People yell Eat It or Yeet It at you?
Nobody yells "Eat It or Yeet It" at me.
Okay.
But I've gotten all sorts of reactions.
Yeah.
It was hard at first, but
Yeah?
It was hard?
Well, for me, I don't know, like to be
You were a little uncomfortable.
recognized. That was uncomfortable. It was anxiety inducing, and like a few times because it's. I mean, I don't know. Like, there was somebody who once kind of got a little overexcited. Had like a little like maybe breakdown, and then like everybody else was like, "Who is this guy?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not."
It is a weird thing because when we get recognized by people who like love Smosh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
But most people, I don't look like a celebrity. Like I just look like some guy, especially when I'm out and about.
Yeah.
So other people are like, "What the is special about this dude?" And I'm like, "There's really nothing special." Like I don't know.
What are you guys talking about? You guys are special.
Thank you.
No,
I will say, lately it's been very good. Like a lot of the people that recognize me are very nice about it. They're like very like, "Hey, I don't mean to bother you. Just like really love your show.
Sweet.
You know,
Yeah.
nice to meet you." And then
That's perfect.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
it's very like, sweet.
That's really
sometimes
sweet.
a photo, but like, it's. Like that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I've learned from being on this side of getting recognized out in public, the best thing, and this is what I would do if I recognized a celebrity who like I'm a fan of, is talking about their work. That's like the best thing because it's like, "Oh, I'm a fan of what you do. I'm a fan of this thing you created." It's so much easier for them to kind of talk about it, react, and it makes a fun moment. And then you're just like, "All right, great, see you." So, because when people are like, "I'm a fan of you," it's like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not that cool. Like, but.
Stop. You guys are cool.
Okay.
My book.
Okay.
Okay, so you also love to travel,
Yes.
right? You probably don't get recognized when you travel. Or maybe you do.
In America, I do.
Airports.
Maybe. Yeah, I think I've been recognized at the airport.
He's gonna yeet it. Like, get him.
Eat it or eat it.
Tackle the TSA.
The detectives are talking to you, and they're like, "Okay, so what was he talking about there? What are you gonna yeet?" You never gotten recognized in other countries?
Well, not really. Well, because like I guess since I've been doing Eat It or Yeet It, I haven't done any crazy travel too much. Like I'm trying to think in like Japan or Europe, Ethiopia. No, nobody.
Where's the last place that you went?
Japan. Not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before. I'm trying to remember. Did I get recognized there? That's possible. I don't remember now.
Would you say that?
Okay.
Would you say that
you.
Japan is
Yeah.
like the craziest place you've ever traveled to?
No.
Where is it?
What's the most fascinating place you've ever been? Where you're like, a place you've been that most people haven't?
I would say a few places.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Timbuktu. I was working a music festival in Timbuktu, and it was like this musician I loved, like his festival, even though he had passed, Alé Catenese, and like Tinari when played, they're like a bunch of like Malian, Saharan kind of bands.
Wow.
But so I'd always wanted to go to this festival. Thankfully, I did because like the day after I left Timbuktu, Al Qaeda invaded, and like the festival is no more. But
whoa.
Just casually dropping like, yeah. So I got out before got real bad.
Shayne and I are like,
It was
Italy, Spain, Florida.
I want to go back to Toronto.
I mean,
how old were you when this happened?
32.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it was not
years
the best
ago.
idea. It wasn't. Yeah. No, actually, it was.
Damn.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. 2012.
Okay, great.
The year was supposed to end. Everything. The world was supposed
Is
to
that
end.
Y2K?
No,
No,
Y2K was 2000.
Yeah.
Don't start with me.
This was the
You don't
movie
know your
2012.
apocalypses that
The
well.
Mayan
I
calendar.
don't like
This is-
apocalypses. I
Well,
don't
it
like.
didn't. Well, good news.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
It
Yeah.
didn't?
Yeah.
2012 was
Where's my
uneventful.
wallet, keys? Okay.
The Mayans just didn't finish their calendar.
Oh.
They were just like, we're not going to get.
Yeah.
We're not
We're
gonna
not
God.
that far.
Okay.
They're
So
like, nothing interesting is going to happen after 2012. All right.
And then the one that I think is accessible, maybe not right now, give it a little second, but Beirut. I loved Beirut. I spent 3 months
Whoa.
there.
Whoa.
Traveled all around Lebanon. I love Beirut.
Lebanon.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's really cool.
Food's incredible.
Food is incredible. And as a vegetarian, it was so much easier to eat in Beirut than compared to like Timbuktu.
Interesting.
Oh.
That's something I don't know of, like what countries are more vegetarian or where there's more vegetarian options. Because I've heard some people talk about traveling to some places. It's like impossible.
Yeah.
Specifically, like the American South, I feel like is probably hard.
Yeah. That was there were like we shot that Day Jobs Peanut Farmers in
Yeah.
Georgia in the middle of nowhere, and there were days I was just like, oh, okay, my lunch today is like a couple fried vegetables and a piece of white bread.
Oh my God.
They're like, this is all we could get you.
Okay, so Timbuktu was also hard for
Timbuktu was hard
vegetarian.
because in Bamako I could find some veggie foods. I could eat, I'd eat eggs and on baguettes, mostly.
Okay.
Timbuktu, they'd give me this really greasy cabbage over couscous that was full of sand because it was in the Sahara, so like sand is in everything. But
Wow.
that was all that. I mean, and there are times I do eat meat. Like I was, went with a friend to a village in Mali, and they gave me a bowl of their prized chicken livers. And, I'm not going to say no to that.
Right.
So
Wow.
I ate that. And then in the Balkans, like there was nothing except for like sausages. So I would eat a lot of sausages.
Okay, so in times of need, you would
Yes.
eat meat.
Yeah. I prefer not to. And we'll just say the hostel in the Balkans was not a friendly place for the other people staying there at night. It gives you bad gas. If you haven't eaten meat in a long time, you don't have the enzymes to digest
Right.
it.
So-
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I remember the first time someone talking about like eating red meat when you don't.
Yeah.
When you
and
don't.
it's devastating.
It is rough.
Because, your body kind of adapts.
Yeah.
It's rough for you and everyone else around you.
Yes.
Yeah. Stinky.
Stinky.
So people weren't a fan of you.
How long have you been vegetarian?
32 years.
I respect it, man.
2012.
I respect everyone who's vegetarian or vegan. Like,
Yeah.
I tell myself, I'm like, okay, someday I want to do that because I do think it's right, but it's tough, man.
I think it's not for everybody. I think it's like, definitely, I think everybody should cut back on their meat. in
I
a
think
way,
so,
But I don't
too.
think everybody
Yeah,
should. be vegetarian.
100%.
I struggle. I feel like I would struggle giving up fish.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I grew up on so much fish that I would struggle with that.
I have cut back. I don't eat red meat hardly, like, ever, I feel like. But
I think in America, like so many people eat red meat, too much red meat, but the rest of the world, like,
I
doesn't
agree.
eat as much red meat as we do.
yeah.
So I think it's
So is there a great place other than Beirut for vegetarian food?
Yeah. So like Beirut, while not like, they don't necessarily understand vegetarianism, there's so many good veggie options.
Amazing.
India, of course.
Yeah.
India.
I ate so well.
I
India was so good.
Because you
was-
also like spice too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like India, it would be like when I first got there, and there's this one restaurant I was going to, and like the first time I went, it was like, oh, what do I get? What do I get? Oh, each thing's like 75 cents, so I should probably get like a few things. No, each one was a meal,
Holy
and
crap.
and they were all it was all so good. So every time I went, I was eating 3 meals each time.
Oh my
Just like-
God.
Ah, God,
Because it was so
nice.
good, and I couldn't decide, so I just would get it all and just stuff myself.
That's incredible. Do you have a place where you're like, that was my favorite food ever? Like on your trip, you're just like, this is heaven.
Yeah, there was this hummus place I would go to in Beirut, and I don't know the name of the place, but it was just like just the perfect creamy, fluffy hummus with like veggies around it and pita and like mint leaves and it was so good.
You mentioned Ethiopia earlier.
Yeah.
I've never had Ethiopian food, but whenever I see it,
it's great.
I'm like, I'm like, how do you go about eating this? Because it's like all on that one.
Yeah,
like
injera
with your hand.
Yeah.
It's so good,
It's
like
so
spongy.
Yeah.
I love Ethiopian
Sounds
food. Where I went to college, there was a bunch of Ethiopian food. Western Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Had so much Ethiopian food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. We had a lot of good restaurants in Western Massachusetts, which sounds like we wouldn't.
I know.
We weirdly
like,
did.
I think of like the Berkshires and like there's nothing else.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So, what's the most unique food that you've tried that you're like, whoa?
Yeah, something that you think nobody else has had.
Nobody else has had.
Or just most people like if you're like, I ate this thing.
I mean, well, okay, this may not be totally answering the question, but
Hey, you won't get in trouble.
there was like a restaurant I went to last year where there were 2 dishes that I was like, I've never experienced this before, and it was this restaurant Con. In Portland. It just got James Beard Best New Restaurant in
Oregon.
America. Yeah. Best
After all
new
these
restaurant.
countries, you're like, well, in Portland.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I know. It's this chef I really love, Gregory, Chef Gregory. He's been on Top Chef a few
No
times.
last name. Love it.
He's like Beyonce.
Yeah,
It's Gregory.
Chef Gregory. It's a Haitian restaurant.
Cool.
And there were 2 dishes that just like I'd never experienced anything like it. One was like just this berry salad with smoked dehydrated coconut crumbles, and then this dessert that was a smoked corn pudding. Made like they used the whole corn. They went through like 8 different steps to make.
Don't worry, we used the whole corn.
What? Smoke?
And then ginger ice and popped sorghum on top. And
Popped
like
what?
sorghum.
I don't know what
what
any
that
of this
is.
is, but it sounds good. And
I
I'll
don't
eat
know
it.
what sorghum is.
It was it's a grain.
Okay.
It's a grain. But I guess you can pop it like popcorn. And
What?
it was just like the textures of all of that and the flavors just like we all kind of sat around like, you know, it was like one of those moments where I don't know, I've had several eating experiences where like we're chatting, dead silent.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's when you know it's good.
Yeah.
And it was just all kind of like, what is going on? And then there were some meals in Japan that I had that were like kind of that next level. There was what was it? We went to the old school ryokan and had an omakase kind of meal.
Cool.
With just like bunch of little plates coming at you like throughout the whole
My
meal.
favorite.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the best.
I love long, like 3 to 4 hours, little meals.
Yeah.
Just
And
give
there
me
were
a little bit at a
A
time.
little bit.
Yeah. And like some of the raw egg stuff was like just next level.
Raw
Just
egg?
like well, in Japan you can eat raw egg totally fine. It's
No, I remember doing that.
Yeah.
I would get like a beef bowl with rice and stuff, and they give you an egg, and I would
Yeah.
just crack it on top of
Yeah.
it and mix it, and it was actually so
I don't know
good.
how I feel about that.
Well, it's because our eggs are
Yeah.
shitty.
Yep.
Oh.
We have shitty eggs.
We have shitty eggs.
Well, it's because
Eggs.
of our
Eggs.
farm,
We have shitty
our
eggs.
factory
Shit
farming
eggs.
means our
Shit
stuff isn't
eggs.
as good.
Shit eggs.
We have shit eggs over here.
I've never been to Japan, so.
It's dope.
great. It's really cool.
Really cool.
I'm trying to think of any other unique foods.
Are there? So have you been to every continent?
I've been to 5. I've yet to go to Antarctica.
Like how we both.
I'm like-
Amanda and I both had the moment of
Portland? Georgia?
I know how many continents there are. I
Okay.
just learned how many weeks there are in a year.
Yeah, 52.
Okay. I was asking it more rhetorically.
Listen,
Of like, can you believe? It feels like we should have more. Look, we can keep the same amount of months. Let's just add more weeks.
he's getting into music, so
I'm
things are
also
changing.
finally
for you.
listening to music. I'm becoming what they some people call a human.
A human. He
Finally.
Googled
Wow.
music and he's on his way.
Yep.
Well, did
I'm
he
learning
Google
about
how to be a human first? And then
I don't think he's
here's
gotten
music.
to that step.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next.
What music are you getting into?
I'm currently next up because I slacked a little bit. Next up, I'm gonna listen to Boy Genius.
Oh,
'Cause
amazing.
everyone's
I mean,
talking about
sweeped the Grammys.
Yeah,
Phoebe Bridgers.
yeah. I'm just like, all
Bridgers.
right, that's next.
Yeah.
If someone actually posted a picture of Boy Genius and said, "Look, it's Amanda, Angela, and Courtney," have you seen it?
Frick, yeah.
And I'll show you a picture when we're done.
Okay,
and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, kinda,
Yeah.
kinda."
Yeah. But anyways, so
Anyways.
I'm listening to music and I'm learning about time.
He's listening to music, and you've been to 5 continents.
Yeah.
So you've been to 5 continents.
Yeah, I need to go to Antarctica and South America.
I've
Never been to South America.
No, South
That's where
America's my last-
I've been
Yeah.
quite a bit.
That's
It's our next trip. We're planning to go to Colombia at some point.
cool. Oh, you'll love that
Colombia.
because you love
Yeah.
coffee.
Yes, love.
Hell
coffee.
yeah.
Colombia.
Can't wait to drink. I mean, Colombia's coffees are really doing well right
Strong.
now.
Yeah.
really strong.
Colombia
Winning a lot of
coffee is
awards,
delicious.
like
My
great geishas there.
my husband's best friend is from Colombia, and he just brought us back beans.
Ooh.
And I've been having it for about the last week.
Jealous.
So, literally, he'll grind it up and put it in a jar, and I'm like, "What's that? I can smell it. It's
Yeah.
so delicious."
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to South America. That's your next. So, is it just Colombia that you're going to, or anywhere? else?
Yeah, for this, I mean, probably. Like we there's so many places we want to go, but we're like, Colombia feels like the one we could do in like 2 weeks, as
Yeah.
opposed to like, I don't know. I feel like if I were to go to Argentina or Chile, like I'd want to spend months.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
When I went to Bolivia, I spent 3 months
Wow,
That's
yeah.
wild.
because it felt like that was the right time. Bolivia was the craziest experience of my life.
Yeah.
It was very dangerous, but yeah.
What was so crazy about it?
Well, it's just I worked at an animal refuge.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it
Oh,
was
I remember
wild.
this story.
Yeah.
From 2 Truths, 1 Lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got attacked by an animal.
What animal?
Bolivia. Tejon. Coati in English. It looks like a really up raccoon
Oh.
It looks like one of the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's.
with fangs. Anyways, we'll get into that one time.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that, maybe when you interrogate me.
Oh.
Because Bolivia was a experience.
Yes.
I was young and I went with my little sister.
Oh, that's
And it was just us.
yeah.
And she got so sick that I thought she was going to die.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
But it was gorgeous, stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet. I've only Central America. It's Central America, right?
Central America. No.
Bolivia, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's South America.
It is. It's South America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Wow,
I
Garrett.
can't
Wow.
Central America isn't Central America.
It's like
Peru?
Panama.
No.
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 Peru is also South America.
Yes,
Yes.
Peru is South America.
Central America is what? Panama,
Panama.
and
Honduras.
Mexico,
Mexico,
Yeah.
Guatemala,
Belize,
El Salvador,
Belize.
Belize is
Belize.
what I was thinking of.
Belize is
what I was thinking.
Belize.
See,
is
I'm
beautiful.
not good with this geography. I'm not.
I
Well,
wish
next
I was,
we'll
I
Google
was
history.
good. I was good.
It's okay.
So Antarctica, South America. What was the third?
No, it's just those two.
Oh, just
there
those
are
two?
only 7.
Shit. God dang it.
52.
No, you forgot about the other one.
Texas.
You forgot about Texas. Okay. Are you gonna go to Antarctica?
I mean, I want to, but it's I don't know.
Food there is not.
I don't
good,
think
I
there's
hear.
food there.
I don't think there's any food. You
I
gotta
don't
eat
no,
ice.
there isn't. Yeah, I
No.
feel like it would just be to cross it off the list.
Yeah,
and to
for
see
sure.
some cool stuff.
Some
but,
penguins.
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
amazing.
No, it does.
You'd have to
look
have
amazing.
like the right gear.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
But-
I wouldn't just go. Although I've
Go
done
in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I'll buy it there.
All
At
right.
the
Like-
shop.
because it's
I'll
but
buy
it's
a
like
parka when I get there.
like you have to go on a tour.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I once like traveled to like the Arctic Circle without planning.
Oh God.
And
What?
yeah, it was stupid. And
I just
showed
drove up there. Wanted
Yeah.
to see Santa.
Yeah, no.
It was in the north of Iceland, and I showed up, and all the hotels were closed. And I was like, "Oh, okay. okay, there are times I need to plan.
Yeah.
Like there was like one cafe open, and they knew a hotel owner who like opened up a room for me.
Oh
like
my God.
by the end of the
That's
night.
Scary.
Oh my
Yeah, it was
God.
like I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but so yeah, I've learned
You've
from my
learned.
mistakes.
So bring a jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like t-shirt and short. You know, I had a jacket, but it was still.
You're crazy, man.
You've
I'm
traveled a
crazy.
You've traveled a lot.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Colombia. You mentioned coffee.
Yes.
And I wanted to take this episode, Garrett, to formally apologize to you. You know well that several years ago, you texted me one day inviting me to your coffee club that you have on the weekends, where you and friends, fans of coffee, get together. You make coffee. You talk about coffee. I responded saying I'm not available that day, which was true. I was very interested in this coffee club.
He was so busy, I guess.
But then there was a Try Not to Laugh episode, and I did an impression of you. I made the impression me inviting someone to that coffee club just as the bit. I didn't mean it to be
Big
mean.
mistake.
I
No,
was just
it's-
saying like that's a Garrett thing.
I will say I was the one that then put in the edit notes to add that text that you. So I sent the text to the editor.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yes. But I felt very bad about it. I didn't mean it to be mean. And I genuinely was interested in the coffee club, but I understand if I will never be invited again.
Yeah, I think you're
What-
out.
Are you?
I- Yeah.
We are meeting this Saturday
Oh my God! Put him on the
to
spot.
go. It's now become coffee and European football.
Okay,
And,
that's cool.
Okay, you got him. There's sports.
And we have a goal. I want to test out a method of cold blooming coffee, where you do the bloom of the coffee at 122 degrees and then the rest of the coffee at 200 or 205 degrees. So we are meeting this Saturday to watch soccer and do this cold blooming method. If you are.
I am legitimately out of town. I am not kidding, Garrett. I
Bring
am
up his
out
calendar.
of town.
Bring up his
I'm
calendar.
out of town this weekend, but keep letting me know, and I will show up. I will show up. I promise.
Garrett,
When I'm not out of town,
just drop him.
I'm out of town.
Drop his ass.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That sounds great. I love European football and also coffee.
Garrett, is he forgiven?
You don't have to, Garrett. You don't have to.
You know what? No, Shayne. I forgive you.
Oh.
It's not for everybody.
Okay.
And even if it was, not all of us have the schedule.
Okay. Wow.
You know, the end like
This feels like a
you,
sorry.
well,
but.
and you never like you were legitimately busy that day.
And you're
and
legitimately,
in
I guess,
comedy,
busy this
in
week.
comedy, you know, I operate best when I am the butt of a joke.
Okay.
I mean, for his funeral, I was a barista making fun of
Yes,
Coffee Club.
yeah.
So I kind of went really hard. I wasn't even
harder.
invited, and I was like, F this.
Thank you, Garrett.
You're welcome.
So glad that's over. So cringy to me. That was really hard.
what are you
for
That
doing
was
me.
Saturday?
awful.
What am I doing Saturday?
Yeah, you want to watch football?
Oh yeah, Amanda. Are you
What
interested?
time? Oh no, this feels like a pity hang.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't know yet
Okay, fair.
because I'm under the spotlight.
But
Listen,
you like coffee.
I'm obsessed with coffee.
Oh,
and
so-
I'm
sounds-
starting to
sounds
do
so-
a pour over right now with.
Oh,
my
what are you
coffee.
using?
Wow.
I have these two
V60?
Japanese reusable filters. They look like little mountains. I forget what they're called. They have like little yellow on them. You can reuse them over time. And to clean them out, you boil them in hot water. They're awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
And so we grind our coffee. We
Yeah.
do it on 205.
What are you grinding with?
I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fair. That's fine.
I don't know what it's called.
Burr grinder, at least.
Burr?
Electric grinder.
Yeah, electric grinder. Is
Well-
that burr?
Well, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Is burr
Yeah.
grinder the...
Garrett's an expert.
Yeah, I would
It
love
gets
to know the
detailed.
grinder.
Well, there's burr and blade, and you don't want blade.
What's burr?
Burr is it's like there's a conical burr and it's like grinding. And blade is very obvious. It's like 2 blades and it's like spins around and like does an uneven grind and burns the coffee as it grinds.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't.
I
that.
know this.
I might not have the right. I might not have the right one.
If you're listening to this,
I mean, ultimately, if you like it, you like it.
No. If
that's
you're
true.
listening to this,
if you like your shitty,
No,
stupid
shut up.
coffee, then that's
if you're
okay.
listening to this, there's 2 grinders. There's a burr
Uh-huh.
There's blades.
and a blade.
Yes.
Don't get the blade, and I'm going to check today
Okay.
to make sure I don't have the blade.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait to tell my husband. Be like, we've been burning our coffee.
I know.
We forgot to mention the ultimate hero is Danny.
Oh,
I
yes.
completely neglected to mention Danny.
Danny is Garrett's dog.
Yeah.
Yes. Incredible dog.
I love him.
Only a young dog, but does not
Old
look
soul.
4.5 years
young
old.
4
soul,
and a half,
old
105 soul.
Yes.
the best dog. I look. This might offend some of our cast members and crew, but I think Danny might be my favorite Smosh dog,
Ooh,
and that's
people are gonna be
high.
pissed.
No, that's high praise because I love all the dogs here at Smosh.
Take that, Winnie.
Every dog is incredible.
I do
They're
love
all so
Winnie.
sweet. But Danny was just the most unique dog I've ever seen. I was just like, Danny, what? And he would get into trash.
Yeah.
He would get into
Loves
trash.
trash.
He would sing. You'd go, Danny. And he'd
Yeah.
go, woo.
Yeah.
He was a singer. He was a trash man.
Yeah. And you should see him at the dog park. He books it, goes wild.
Really?
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Danny's the type that loves every other dog.
Yes, he does.
Just
Danny is-
zero hate in
Danny's
that
an
dog's heart.
angel.
What?
He has
what does he hate?
developed
What does he hate?
dogs that with black and brown markings on them. He will go
Interesting.
in just wild. He just gets like a little bad.
Huh.
I don't know what's happened.
I've always
It's
been
in the last 6 months.
That's always fascinating to me because like I had a dog growing up that occasionally just some dogs he was just like, I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
What is it
Dogs
about
do
that dog?
It smells. It's
Yeah.
breeds. Some breeds they just
Yeah.
do not.
My
mesh.
dog, it was just sometimes just he saw a dog, he was just like, I don't like you.
You
Yeah.
used to own a dog?
I had 2 dogs growing up.
I didn't know that.
2 Australian Shepherds.
What were their names?
Whoa.
They were Shiloh and Jack. One of them just did not like other dogs sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But that's how it just, dogs are weird.
How it is.
Happens. It just happens.
Okay.
Well, I think it's time for us to reveal.
Yeah.
What?
Well, so we do our little end segment, sometimes called Smart Mouth, but we've held back on our least favorite dishes from Eat It or Yeet It.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'm going to guess Shayne's, although I don't know how I'm going to guess. So I might
If you
not
can
have
just
seen
guess what the ingredient, like,
Okay.
some aspect of ingredient.
Well, you kind of gave me some clues.
It was early on. It was before you were in Eat It or Yeet It.
Okay, so you have grave
So-
mouth. So sour, which is malic acid, and
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Bitrix maybe.
I know.
Okay.
Maybe Bitrix
No.
and liquid. You hate liquid. You hate
True.
liquid, and you don't like the color green. You don't like the
Yeah.
color.
I'll let you guess, then I'll let Garrett guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm feeling like it was liquidy. It was maybe the color green, and there was some nasty, maybe some Bitrix in it, and you thought it maybe was like a juice or something.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Garrett?
Garrett, do you know what it was?
The peanut butter,
You
chocolate
nailed
peanut
it.
butter cups full of fermented fish paste.
That
Oh,
is-
wow. I was very
You
close.
nailed
Yes.
it. You absolutely nailed
Not a
it.
liquid, not green.
That
It was.
Is
It was
horrible,
truly horrendous. Props to you because I did not know what I was in for. They looked like regular Reese's cups, and you guys told me to pop 3 of them, and so I
Don't
threw
listen to them.
3 of them into my mouth, and I that was the closest I've been to on camera having a horrible time. Like that was very close.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, God.
This is good.
Oh, hot damn. It's always a great response. Confusion. Oh no. Get it out, yeah. What is that?
Come on, just a little longer.
He's turning red. Keep chewing.
Oh, wow. What do you?
I legitimately just nearly actually threw up.
Very close, but I escaped. and it was rough.
Wow.
It was really rough. Nothing came close to that.
Okay.
Truly. Bravo, Garrett. That was
Thank
your
you.
best
I have
work.
one
was
that
fun.
nothing came close to.
Okay.
I have a guess.
I think
Okay.
there's a guess.
Let's see. Okay, so I don't think it's. You mentioned Bitrix stuff. I think yours. I'm going to say yours was some sort of meat thing. And I'm trying to remember. It's just so many episodes. I want to say it was there was some sort of slimy meat aspect to this. That's. I know it's vague, but that's what I'm going with.
that's Shayne's guess.
My guess is
I know you know.
the yogurt cup with real tuna on the bottom.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
If I think about it, I'll throw up.
You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it.
So it was yogurt with
It
tuna.
was Icelandic blueberry yogurt
Okay.
with tuna
Instead of the blueberries.
instead of the blueberries
At
in
the
there.
bottom.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Here's one thing you need to know about me.
Okay.
I despise tuna. It's the
Ooh.
only thing I hate in this entire world. I don't like chicken of the sea tuna. I don't like that shit.
Okay.
I don't like the canned tuna. The smell of it makes me want to throw up. Tuna salad sandwiches. Here's the thing. I can have raw tuna. Yum, yum, yum. Fine with that. But tuna fish? Yuck.
So you
And
like
it
you like
was-
tuna sushi.
Yeah. And it was in yogurt. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was like dairy fermented sour with the tuna. That I felt physically ill. And then they put out like a, hey, here's Eat It or Yeet It. What things do you not want? And I was like, tuna, never again. Bugs, never again. So that was my worst.
Wow.
There we go.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Well, I guess.
That sounds very tame.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
not that bad.
I'm a different kind of gal. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, yours is nasty.
Mine's rough. Both fish.
Yeah,
Both
both
fish.
Both fish.
Hell. Well, Garrett, thank you so much for being on
for having me.
So,
being here, man.
so your episode. So, how can we find your podcast?
Just look at every podcast server and look up Agents of Travel.
Okay.
Agents of Travel.
Agents of
Right.
Travel.
There's already been a season 1 out, but
Yes.
season 2 is
Season
coming
2
out.
Is coming out. Sarah Whittle was on it.
Oh.
Ooh,
She'll be on here.
she'll be on here.
Oh, fun.
Pretty
Yeah.
soon,
Yeah, I recorded with her like a year ago. And-
Great.
I'm
Great.
editing that one right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and who else? Oh, yeah, a bunch of fun people.
Great. Bunch of fun people, not
Bunch of-
Amanda.
Not Amanda.
Not me. Well,
No,
I'm
God
just
forbid.
gearing up, waiting
Yeah.
for you to ask me. So I can't wait.
Well, Garrett, Eat It or Yeet It, one of the best shows on Smosh of all time. Thanks
Yes.
to you.
Thanks
Great
to you.
work. You're a good friend, good person, and you are a great attribute of Smosh's legacy.
Yes.
You.
So,
And thank you for loving coffee.
Come
yeah,
to my coffee club.
I will look.
Come to his coffee club.
It will happen. We will make it happen.
Sure it will.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.